Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but last night, some pretty significant news has come out of the Manchester United camp. And that is that we've appointed a brand new CEO of the club. And that is Omar Berrada. Now, we're going to talk about, his past, what he's been doing, and what we can look forward to now that he is our new CEO. But just before we get into that, guys, if you're into videos like this about Manchester United and football, I post about once or twice a week. Maybe hit that subscribe, hit that notification button so you know exactly when I upload. And you know what, man? Don't forget to hit that like and drop a comment. Let me know what you feel about this new CEO appointment. All right? Cool. Let's go ahead and have a little talk about Omar Berrada and where he's from and where he might take us into the future. So I think most people know that this guy has come from Manchester City, so just down the road, right? He wasn't their CEO. He was their COO, kind of CFO, but has been with the club since 2011 and has been highly successful. If you couldn't tell by Manchester City's last few years, controversial last few years, nonetheless, they've been very successful. But, he's also been at clubs before that, and he's worked with, Pep Guardiola for quite some time now. He got kind of a start over at Barcelona. I think he maybe had a club before that, but I know that he used to be with Barcelona and kind of went to Manchester City almost like in preparation because they knew they wanted Pep Guardiola for quite some time. So Manchester City did appoint this guy in 2011, serving as the head of international business development. But in 2016, he took a promotion to become their chief operating officer. And he's been, it kind of aligns with right when Pep Guardiola joined that club that he became the COO. So Pep kind of signed at the start of 2016 and has been there ever since. And they've been highly successful since then. In 2020, he was promoted to an even more senior role with the City Football Group. So not just the club, but the whole City Football Group in general. They own Manchester City, they own Girona, they own NYFC, and I think they also own a club in South America. But I don't follow Manchester City, so. But yeah, anyway, so he's been in the game for quite some time and knows what it takes to be a successful, hopefully, CEO, but at least CFO. Now, there's been a few things that have been highlighted and that I've read about that actually make me really like this guy and the way he does business. So, I'm not sure if you remember, a few years ago, we bought a player named Harry Maguire. And for those who don't know, Manchester City were also in for Harry Maguire, but this guy, Omar Berrada, actually told them, no, we're not signing this player, not because of his skill. It could have been his skill, but he saw what Leicester City wanted for this player, and he said, he's not worth that value. There's no value in a buy like that, considering his age, skill, and how long he might be at the club. And he also did the same with Jorginho. He said no, actually had the balls to say no to sign Jorginho, who I thought would have been a great Manchester City player, but he has the balls when the price is too high and doesn't see the value in that price. He will say no and wait for the next player. He said no to Jorginho and got Rodri. He said no to Harry Maguire and got Ruben Dias. So this guy kind of knows what the hell he's doing when it comes to buying players. So we're kind of hoping he can bring that mentality in to Manchester United. So where does that leave Manchester United now? It's interesting that we've poached someone from the most successful club, not just in England at the moment, but in the world. Why would he want to leave Manchester City and come here? Obviously, I hate to break it to you Manchester City fans, but we are a bigger club. We are a bigger draw. And maybe he's looking for a new project. We're We're down in the dumps right now. And what kind of credit would he get from bringing Manchester United from, let's admit it, guys, mid-table right now back to the top? And I'm all about that. Is he running from the 115 charges? Nah, I personally, I don't think so. I think personally he's just looking for a new challenge, and maybe he's taken City as far as they can go. Also, Pep Guardiola's contract does run out next year. I don't know. Maybe he sees him leaving. I don't know. There's a multitude of factors why he might be leaving Manchester City. Doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't matter to you. But anyway, and I'll also say this, is that it seems like the Glazers are trying to take credit for this. Yes, they've had to work with Jim Ratcliffe to get this deal done. They couldn't. Jim Ratcliffe cannot sign a new CEO without the Glazers' approval, but don't let that get you down. This has been an Ineos appointment, a Jim Ratcliffe appointment, and a start of a new era at Manchester United. Or I don't know how many times we've said that in the past few years, or we hope that it starts a new era at Manchester United. But let's see what this does and what we can hope for at Manchester United. So what I'm expecting now, right, is gone are the days we're spending 70, 80, 90, 100 million pounds on players like a Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, Antony. We can throw Paul Pogba in there. How many players? Romelu Lukaku. I forgot to add this guy into the players he turned down at City, and that's Alexis Sanchez. He turned him down due to his wage demands. But gone are those days where we tunnel vision players until we get them, disregarding all the other players that we might miss along the way. Manchester United over the last decade has had serious tunnel vision on players. They have one target and they don't stop until they get that target. And which is why we end up paying double, triple, and even quadruple the price that they're actually worth. We have a guy now that seems to have a bit of a backbone, some balls to say, no, we're not going to take this player because you want way too much money. We're moving on to the next one on our list. We never had a list before. It was Jadon Sancho or nothing. It was Harry Maguire or nothing. But now we have a man who seems to have a bit of structure and wants to implement some structure into the club. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. We're all still skeptical about what Jim Ratcliffe is going to do because the Glazers are still here. But it looks like he's basically told the Glazers to fuck off, stay in Florida, let me run this, and let me do what I know how to do. And that's by appointing guys like Omar Berrada, Dave Brailsford. I think we're going to see Paul Mitchell come in the next few weeks as well. And it's just nice to see we're starting to build a bit of a structure. What does this mean for Ten Hag as well? I think this appointment actually points to, I think, Ten Hag staying even past the summer. We all know the structure there's been no structure. We have players that have played for 3 to 4 different managers still playing for this club. I get it, what Ten Hag is doing right now. Some of the results have been unexplainable, but I don't think we can judge him, and I want to see what he can do when he has a proper structure behind him, players that fit the system he wants to play, because right now players like Scott McTominay, I'm going to even throw Bruno, maybe Rashford, Maguire, these people don't fit what we want to do. They might fit certain games. We got to play on the counter, we got to sit back, but if we want to play a high tempo, high possession style of play, we cannot. These players will not work. And we need a guy that can come in, and it seems like we have a guy that can come in and not just find these players to bring in, but also get players out. You see the business Manchester United, or not Manchester United, Manchester City has done over the past few years when it comes to selling players. They do very well at selling players. Look at Raheem Sterling and a few others. Laporte has gone. Basically, they can rotate players in and out because they have no problem selling players, not just established players, but you look at how they sell youth players as well, and they do that very well. So it's not just the excitement of the players that he might bring in, but if he feels like players are becoming deadwood, not performing for the club, there's going to be no issues in letting them go and having them find a new club. I'm excited now to have some balls in this club, to have some backbone in this club, and actually, like I've said a few times already, to have a proper structure in this club. No more bankers, no more mates rates that you say in England, right? None of this shit. It's time to become a proper football club, not just a football club, but a properly run business. Imagine what we can achieve and how much money we can bring in once we start being successful. I think this guy could be the key to success, but unfortunately, only time will tell. It's not going to happen overnight, guys. It's not going to happen in 1 year. This is going to be a multi-year project. We need to have some patience. I know that's something Manchester United fans really, really struggle with, is having patience. But trust me, if we're patient, good things will come from this. Let's not all turn into the Twitter fans if the first year doesn't go as planned. We've got to get a lot of players out, guys, and we've got to bring a whole new crop of players in. But yeah, that's a bit of a background on Omar Berrada, what I think might happen to our club and what we can expect going into the future. I should also mention that I don't think he's actually going to take over that CEO role until the summer. I think he has to have like this little grace period from Manchester City. But from what I'm understanding, he won't really get into the role until the summer. But that doesn't mean he isn't already doing his homework and his background checks on players to bring in. But for right now, we got Patrick Stewart. Yep, Star Trek's Patrick Stewart. Just kidding, not him. Not Professor X either. Just playing CEO right now. But I can guarantee you that in the background, Omar Berrada, Jim Ratcliffe, Dave Brailsford, and if so, Paul Mitchell, are doing their homework in the background. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. Because we need a big overhaul this summer. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below. Are you excited by this appointment? Do you think that means Ten Hag will stay? Tell me also, what players do you think they might bring in and which players they might let go? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys all on the next one. Later.